Hi, you guys. We're a little late. Sorry about that. This is going to have to be really quick. So I was thinking of what to say. We had some technical issues that made it impossible to get on the air at the normal time. So we're coming to you about 25 minutes later than usual, and we've got the main show, which you're not supposed to know about because it's totally unacceptable, and it starts in 4.5 minutes. Other than that, we've got plenty of time to talk. So, what can I say in that time? I think I'll be, this is a safe stream version for those of you that may be new, where we are maintaining our presence on YouTube so that we don't lose contact with those of you who are not yet connected to us on all the other channels through lostartsradio.com. But of course, on this one, since we've been re-educated numerous times by YouTube, we have to make sure that everything we say is totally non-controversial and couldn't possibly offend anybody, couldn't violate anybody's terms or rules or anything like that. So a lot of the time we say things with you needing to interpret and understand what they're really about. And this time I'm not going to do that so much, especially since I've only got a minute to talk to you. And I just want you to remember, or look at it if you haven't seen it, in Star Wars, the movie, in the first 3 episodes, which were the best ones, I think it was, it was either number 1 or number 3. You guys will know better than I do. But Han Solo and Leia and Luke were in a kind of a tight predicament, and they were actually tied with ropes, their hands and their feet, to sticks. And there were cranks on the end of the sticks, where you turn it around. This is in the age when they didn't have computers running everything. And it's called a spit. It goes over the barbecue, or in this case, an open fire. And they were all being cooked for dinner. Basically a sacrifice without, not really a sacrifice, just the main course for dinner. And the only way they got out of it, because it was not an obvious way how to escape, is Luke used his Jedi powers, and they all got released and worshipped as gods, and it turned out to be okay in the end, instead of being eaten for dinner, which is a lot better not to have that happen. That was a sci-fi movie which was just made up, but it has a lot of symbolic truths in it that relate to our real situation, and I have to tell you about that in 60 seconds. So what I'll say is that we're in a similar situation right now, and instead of who was it, the Ewoks that captured those guys and had them over the open fires getting ready for dinner. In our case, it's somebody else, as you know. We've talked about it, and we're being roasted, but not necessarily just for dinner. It's got a spiritual aspect to it, and the people in charge of the roasting are not doing it for food. They're not doing it for money. They're not doing it for temporal power. They have their own motive. And the only way out, similar to that situation where the heroes were tied up with their hands and feet roped to the spit, it's a similar situation here. I don't see any way out except something analogous to what happened. And fortunately, you have something greater than Jedi powers, and it's a matter of will all of us do, and will we awake in time? And it's not a clue, it's not something from our own ego base that is subject to being misused. It's something that flows through us, and it comes from where we are connected to, where we came from. All we have to do is wake up to that, like in Dune when they said, the sleeper must awaken. That sounds like a cliche little line. It's really deep and it's really applicable, and it's the movie we're really in. So digest it, decide whether it's worth the work, and I suggest we do it. That's what we talk about in planetaryhealingclub.com and also in other shows to some degree that we're allowed to without being kicked off the air. So there, as usual, there's a link below this video that is to the real version of the show that is not acceptable. It's very subject to offending who knows who. And it's amazingly still visible on various channels. So I suggest you warn everybody not to go to that link, and we'll meet you there in a few minutes. Have a good rest of the weekend. Nice to see you again.